let's do it again. So this is the third segment of holiness and separation as a total subject. We're going to be going into jewelry and makeup on specifics, and just like the different ways that it uplifts ourselves and our like self-image and false gods and money and all these different things that you can look up and raise up as if they were on an equal standing point to God, not because you call them a god, but because you put them with the money, the time, the importance, the imagery of being like so important to yourself and to society that they rival your love and dedication to God. So we're going to start out in Isaiah 3:16 and 22. I'm going to be paraphrasing once I get to like the different types of ornamentation that we shouldn't have and that they take off themselves. So just be aware of that. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, their cauls, their round tires like the moon, the chains, the bracelets, the mufflers, the bonnets, the ornaments of the legs, the headbands, the tablets, the earrings, the rings, nose jewels, changeable suits of apparel, mantles, wimples, and the crisping pins, covering anything that you can put on your feet to anything you put in your hair, which is what the crisping pins are. When we look at this, we really look at the fact that these daughters of Zion walk forth with stretched necks and wanton eyes, mincing as they go. They're basically they're kind of like making their image. They're operating off of look at me, see me as beautiful, see me as rich, as amazing. Like they're praising their own self-image and lifting them up, which can in this modern day we look at how that kind of stuff makes women self-conscious, makes people like look at themselves as being less, and anybody who does that really has a vanity problem over anything else, which really can affect and hurt the heart. Next we're going into Genesis 35:2 and 4. This one is really scripture packed just because there's not a lot I have to say outside of what is said in the Bible. I don't have anything to add really. Then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, be clean, change your garments, and let us arise and go to Bethel. And I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods that were in their hands, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. Here, the main part that I want us to focus on is and they gave Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hands, and the earrings which were in their ears. Kind of combining these two, they're linking the strange gods and the earrings in that this was a worshipful practice. This was them uplifting these false gods through the ornamentation that they kept on their body, which God has never once asked for. So you can't make the argument that, oh, my necklace, which has a cross on it, is me uplifting God. It's like God never asked for that. He doesn't want that. It doesn't matter what your intention are. Don't get a scripture tattooed on your arm. When God says don't mark your body, you should get the scripture that says I will not mark my body on your arm, which you're marking your body. It's like when Saul got the sheep and said I will sacrifice him, and God was just like, I told you to kill him. Don't do something as a way to glorify God that he tells you not to do. That's spitting in his face. The next one we're going to go into is going to be Exodus 1-6. I'm not going to read through this whole thing just because it's a lot of body talking about the different clans and different things like this. But we're going to focus in on specific parts. Unto a land of flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up into the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornamentation, which is important. For the Lord had said unto Moses, saying to the children, ye are a stiff-necked people. I will come into the midst of thee in a moment and consume thereof. Therefore, now put off thy ornaments from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. Basically, these ornamentations, once again, they are not for God. God said, if I come into your presence and I see you wearing that, I don't even trust what I'm going to do to you. So, he's just take them off. I'll revisit this subject in a little bit. It's basically you wear something, or you do something your parents tell you, and you come home and they like see the result on you, and they're just like, go clean up, because if I'm gonna whoop you if I see you continue with that nonsense. And it really says that God is not willing to mingle with us when we do these things. So why would we wear these outfits? Why would we put on ornamentation if God is not willing to mingle with us in that time? It's like, what's more important to you in your heart, like God or wearing jewelry, basically. And then this last one is going to cover the mixed subject of face painting and ornamentation. I feel like ornamentation needed to be more covered, but face painting is still important. Jeremiah 4:30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, and though thou rentest thy face with painting, makeup, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. This is basically talking about how there's no good that comes from painting yourself, from ornamenting yourself. You will find no satisfaction in life except for simple, cheap thrills. Shout out Sia. There's no important reason that you could possibly have for painting yourself up, because anything that happens, any life you get, any partner you attract from doing this kind of stuff will always end with nothing. It'll just be pleasures of the flesh. Nothing satisfactory or real will come from it, because you attracted them using your face, your body, whatever, and they're only going to stay for your face, your body, or whatever. They're not here for your heart, your mind, your soul. So don't expect that kind of respect, I guess, if you're only going out of your way to attract those kind of people. And it all goes back to like God's not willing to mingle with us when we have this on. So how can you pretend to care about him, to walk with him on Sundays and Wednesdays, but the rest of the week you're going about and you're doing this stuff that God doesn't approve. He's not willing to talk to you when you do it, and he's not going to forget the fact that the second you step out of church, you're going to make sure to pop back in those earrings, put on that necklace, put on those gold rings to make yourself look stylish or whatever. He's not going to forget what you're doing the second you leave his presence, because he's still in your presence, even when you're not willingly in his. That's pretty much all I have to say on the subject of makeup and ornamentation.